Hello again. Chapter number 2. Angels on the Ark can be purchased at www.angelsontheark.com, along with any of the pictographs or pictures I show you in this segment or any other segment, totaling 290 pictures at that particular website. For your viewing pleasure, you can look through all the pictures in a low resolution, and if you decide to purchase them, they can be downloaded. The instructions are next to the book on how to download the images. AKA, this is one of the many pictographs in an original, the God Pod and the Evil Seed of Death. And from here, I'm going to show you, naturally, you know that's the God Pod with the pyramid in it, because everything inside this circle, sphere, or compass represents life. Everything inside this sphere, the evil seed of death, represents death, including 13 individual evils. I have been able to show you physically and numerize 13 evils that exist within the God Pod, including what we have come to know as Satan, which is a perfect representation of Satan right here, and or the 44th POTUS, because I am quite certain before the end of the term of the 44th POTUS, he will accomplish something more evil than could possibly be imagined. Even if it is only the destruction of the $1 bill, that will be evil enough to make his place in history as a brother of Satan, son of Satan, or Satan itself. Of course, he must share the podium with the Pope, but in all due respect, the two of them, like Christ and God, are inseparable. The Pope and Obama are only two representations of evil in this world that exist, that are part and parcel of the same entity, just like Jesus Christ and the Lord God are two of the same sides of a different coin, or two sides of the same coin. And now, in order to prove to you that there is evil in the world, you people have been looking for an owl. You've been looking for an owl to go with that Bohemian society that meets up in Northern California. Well, I think I'm going to show that owl to you. And I'm going to show it to you because whoever built or created the $1 bill that existed before time itself began, and certainly before the Great Pyramid of Giza, placed this owl that you are looking at right here above the two seed pods. Now let me give you a close-up of the face. Place this owl on the back of the $1 bill that, of course, can only be utilized by certain folding methodologies and the viewing of it from certain angles, aka Euclidean optics, which doesn't work as well with the camera as it does with the lens of a human's eyes. Along with the owl is placed the bat, because these two creatures represent ancient mystical representations of the occult. I didn't say the number 13 because originally that number was a good number, but this bat that you are looking at with the orange wings and the owl are both very ancient representations of a remnant society, and the same remnant society that has been in control of the United States government since its inception, and that was the way the Founding Fathers wanted it to be. Now I'm going to show you another version of a bat or an evil face that looks like a horned owl's eyes. and then I will show it to you from a little bit of a different angle, the opposite side of one of my creations, and you shall see it much simpler. There you go. A horned owl, or an evil entity. Now, if you turn this upside down, something interesting happens. It looks like a little owl. And from the other side, the same thing. The men's faces that you see are the faces in the book of Revelation in chapter 4, verse 6, depicted as the face of a man, where it speaks about the four beasts. And one of the beasts is the face of a man, but not a man. This is the face that is spoken about in the book of Revelation, and I can prove that to you because apparently there are supposed to be beasts with eyes before and behind, and lo and behold, this is the calf that is spoken about in the book of Revelation, that could be a calf or could be an oxen. Interesting enough, if you turn it upside down, it looks more like an oxen than a calf. Now, if you hold these things up to your own eyes, because of Euclidean optics, you can see this much better. Here are the faces of a man that are not a man, or the beasts that look like a man but are not a man, and out of his eyes come these beams that wrap up around the evil seed of death and head towards the central focus of the Lord God in the center. It does this for a reason, but if you'd like to know what that reason is, you'll have to read the book. I need to do something. That's why I wrote the book, so that you could buy the book. Now, I'm going to show you some really ancient, off-the-wall pictographs that existed before the Great Pyramid of Giza was built. The diamond that you see at the bottom is a very, very old symbol of power. If you notice, the two eyes that were once the eyes of a man that looked like a man, but not a man, form a face, and that diamond at the bottom forms a mouth. This is the totem pole that you see in the Bohemian Society, where the ex-presidents and all the evil people of the world, the Illuminati and the heads of this and the heads of that, as if there was such a thing, meet, and at the top of the totem pole, once again, a perfect depiction of an owl. I don't think that's a coincidence. And if you look, there are two faces facing the owl. The two faces of the men with the Egyptian-like chins. Face this evil entity. Although it's really not evil, in and of itself, it is only a representation of a contiguous society that has existed since the dawn of time, since before the book of Genesis was written. Wherever these people, entities, or deities came from, they existed before the world. And there you have it. Now I'm going to show you it from the opposite side of that same design. Okay, there you go. Takes a while for the camera to focus. There you have a little bit more of an evil man face, man-like face, but without the diamond at the bottom. But either way, the eyes are there, and the mouth is just shaped like an upside-down chevron, or a giant set of tusks. Now, I can show you a cephalopod that exists On the $1 bill,